We're gonna vote in Camberley.
I'm down here in Camberley in Surrey with artist Bob and Roberta Smith, who is standing as a parliamentary candidate against the hated Tory Michael Gove.
I don't think he's hated in the Conservative Party, he's loved.
Is he? Yeah.
We're gonna vote in Camberley for the arts. We're gonna vote for art in schools in Camberley.
So Bob, you're stepping outside of your role as an artist to stand for Parliament.
Now that's where you're wrong, John.
Right.
Because this is an artwork.
Right.
I see this whole campaign as an artwork. We've been in the studio all day doing this. You've collaborated. And you've taken us on an amazing psychogeographic tour, but it's been a collaborative process, you know, and I think art's all about shared experience and conversation. And I do think running this campaign, it is against Michael Gove, but it's a very positive thing. It's meant to be, you know, about saying why the arts are important, particularly in schools. And so it really is an artwork. So I try not to think of myself as being a politician. I'm trying to think of myself as being, an artist who's concerned about these things. Art, is all about shared experience, and politics is all about that as well. So I think, it's art really. It's all art. Art is life. You are a living sculpture.
Because I will support the arts in schools.
And the reason why it's in Surrey Heath is because this is Michael Gove's constituency. So he's the chief architect of diminishing arts in our schools. But we're going to have a completely positive campaign. I'm not going to spend too much time rubbishing Michael Gove. I'm going to try and say why the arts are really important. So they're really important for health. They're really important for the economy. £71.4 billion was contributed to the economy in 2013 from the creative industries. And to deny kids access to art education is to deny them access to that huge economy, actually. And of course it's all about self-expression, it's about freedom of speech, it's about democracy. Art, if you get a load of kids in a room and teach them, get them to do one project, you've got 36 kids in the room, you'll get 36 literally different points of view, different perspectives on something that you're drawing in a classroom, and that teaches kids that there are, kind of multiple answers to the questions humanity faces, if you like.
We're gonna vote. We're gonna vote. We're gonna vote. We're gonna vote for art in Camberley.
In fact, in schools, I think we should only teach art, music, dance and drama, and teach everything else through the lens of that. We're too keen on the specifics of the taught subjects at the moment, and we don't think a lot about the application of those subjects. So, art, music, choreography, they're all about pattern, they're all about movement, they're all about time, they're all to do with things which are important in physics and mathematics, and English, of course, is all to do with drama and speech. And so all of these things should really be taught through the lens of art, music, dance and drama, and design, of course.
Vote for Bob for more art in Camberley. In Camberley. Vote for Bob. Vote for me for more art in Camberley. Vote Bob for more art in Camberley.
We're going to Camberley! We're going to Camberley!
Camberley. Can't you see? There's plenty to do and see in Camberley. In Camberley. There's plenty to do. There's plenty to see in Camberley. In Camberley. We're gonna vote for the arts in Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. There's plenty to do. Plenty to see. We're gonna vote for the arts in Camberley. So we're travelling to Chobham well, Michael Gove's we're going to go and see Michael Gove on a
fire engine. Vintage fire engine.
Vintage fire engine, aren't we, man? Well, I'm quite excited about that.
Yeah. It should be the highlight of the day.
I think it's going to be the highlight of the day. So we've arrived in swinging Chobham, and well, we'll see some of the bunting in a moment, won't we? But it's just blue and white bunting. We're heading to the independent headquarters, aren't we, Melanie?
Yeah. Where we'll find those who are bucking the trend in this quite.
Now you were telling me about the different colours. I hadn't noticed that, but
yeah.
The Gove people have a lighter blue Conservative sign, but then there are these dark blue traditional Tories as well.
Where they're saying local, you're local.
You're local.
Implying that there's a bit of a schism here.
So we're here, we've got we're in the independent headquarters here. Oh Michael, you look very good up there. Yeah, Michael Gove has just gone past.
With a whole...
I said, hello Michael. Hello. I said, hello, I'm the enemy of promise. Yeah. So Max, you are actually standing, aren't you?
Yes.
And you're a parish councillor.
Yes.
All over the village, there's blue and white bunting, but your black and white bunting makes makes your house look like an anarchist headquarters.
I mean, very secretly, that could be what we're doing here in the heart of in Tory Heartland. I mean, but don't tell anyone, because you've been asleep yourself for so long, you can't really come into the light now.
I think it's quite brave, isn't it? Because you have to, you know, your mum and yourself, you have to live here afterwards. And it's like, this is right in the heart of the village. You are literally a thorn in the side, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, we had Michael Gove come and visit the house last time to kind of try and, what's the word, ambush my mum.
Did you have some blue and white bunting to try and pin up? With the champagne independence, the champagne anarchists.
Champagne socialists.
Champagne socialists.
I often think to myself,
and you've put a little bit of slow gin in yours to make it pinker and redder.
Yeah, more anarchy, that's what it is.
So we're here at the Chobham Fair, aren't we, Daisy? We've got the Scottish nationalists have arrived. And they're all wearing black and white. So we just got told off, didn't we, Melanie, for making the carnival political?
Yeah, we did.
Obviously by a Conservative.
and when I pointed out to her that it doesn't come more political than Michael Gove on a float,
On the float.
she couldn't seem to grasp that argument and said that he had the perfect right. So I said, well, not really. When Parliament was dissolved, he ceased to be the MP.
Yes, that's true. This really is a one-party village. Perplexing, because Michael's going to be on his float. Morris dancers have just gone past and they're all socialists.
Oh, clever girl.
is making this.
It is political.
It's making it political, isn't it?
Am I allowed to put my banner up when Gove goes past?
Can we just
Yeah! Go Independence! Alan Quick. Hello, Michael.
Hi, Bob.
I'm glad you're enjoying the creativity of the carnival.
Yes, yes, you're part of it.
This is quite mad, really. Anyway, it's all in good fun, I suppose. And so I was able to shake the hand of Michael. Melanie's really giving it some. Oh no!
I just felt very incensed.
No, it's very good.
Because when they've got it absolutely plastered with consultants, and this is supposed to be non-political.
So what was quite funny?
I'm really upset about that.
What was quite funny is that, so I went up to him and said, "Oh, I hope you're enjoying the creativity of the carnival." He said, "Yes, and you're part of it." There's Michael.
Now, Michael, I really would like to debate you about creativity quite seriously at some stage.
Absolutely.
So I do understand you're into social mobility.
Yes,
But I think creativity is about social mobility.
I quite agree.
Will you debate me about that?
Yes, definitely.
Art is a human right. You have the right to sing. You have the right to dance.
Now I'm with Surrey Lady. Now we've become friends on Twitter, isn't it?
We have.
Now that badge,
Yeah.
that's had a lot of sunlight hitting it, hasn't it? It's beginning to fade. I can give you another one. But you've also been wearing it out and about.
Oh, it's been in my window.
Has it been in your window? So why are you so passionate about the arts then?
I think everybody should be passionate about the arts, but why I am so enthusiastic about your candidacy is just bringing some interest and colour to a campaign in Surrey Heath where I have lived for 30 more years and been through many general elections where it's always a foregone conclusion. I know it probably is a foregone conclusion even now, but it just makes it more interesting and it's a bit subversive as well. It's a bit different.
You have the right to make a boat. You have the right to dance. Because you have the right. Because art is your human right. Art is your human right. Art is your human right. Let's hear it, Rebecca. Yes, it is. Art is your
Be a winner, Bob.
human right.
Do I get my Dr Pepper?
Yeah. You don't, because it didn't go right the way over.
Oh, didn't it? Oh, did it? Oh, I see. I think that's what it's going to be like in the election.
It's hit and miss, eh?
Art is your human right. Let's hear it, Rebecca. Yes, it is. Art is your human right. Art is a human right. You have the right to sing. You have the right to dance. You have the right to draw. You have the right to paint. And you have the right to laugh. And you have the right to listen to the radio. You have the right to sculpt. You have the right to make things.
This is not the two rockets, you know. Very warm welcome to everybody. My name is Tim Cross. I'm a retired Army General, Major General. Worship at St Paul's up the hill here as a lay minister. For 7 years I was the Army Advisor to the House of Commons Defence Committee, which I thoroughly enjoyed and got to know Parliament quite well. And the first thing I want to say tonight is the respect I have for politicians. This is a very unusual thing to say, I know, because they get slated in the media on a constant basis. But, you know, it is really important this evening. This evening is about you, the voters, not these guys, the politicians, in the sense that the idea is that you go away from here this evening with a better picture in your mind and a clearer understanding of what they stand for and whether they should represent you in the House of Parliament.
Over the course of the last few years, I've been privileged to be Education Secretary. I've helped bring change, which has meant that our secondary schools are now academies and standards are rising. And if I'm fortunate enough to be re-elected, I hope to continue to champion the causes that are dear to all of our hearts.
Hello, I'm Bob and Roberta Smith, and I'm an artist, and I'm standing in this constituency really against Michael because I am deeply concerned about the position of arts in schools. So I'm standing on a single issue. The economy of the arts is worth 79 billion to this country, and we are diminishing art in schools, and that means that we are diminishing the ability of working class, ordinary kids in state schools access to an economy which could make them extremely wealthy, and one day they could be Royal Academicians just like me. So I'm standing really against Michael Gove. Michael Gove is the principal architect of a lot of reforms in education which have diminished the arts in schools, and that's really why I'm here. Well, in the 21st century, the world and the economy is changing, and Michael's absolutely right to put the stress on education. But one of the things that Michael's tried to do, in fact Kenneth Baker did in the 1980s, was try to get an idea going about computer-aided design and to try and teach kids coding. I went to a presentation in Parliament the other day by this group called the Digital Schoolhouse, and they said that actually, because they're computer specialists and they couldn't draw, teaching coding is like teaching coordinates essentially. It's about plotting space, identifying where things are in space. If you simply have computer specialists teaching that subject, and they cannot begin to identify what the kind of space is. And that's a problem. What we need to do in our country is teach visuality and mathematics in the same breath. That's what we must do, and that's the challenge to people who are charged with education, to forget about C.P. Snow's idea, this old idea about the relationship between art and science being against one another, but to actually unite them in primary school and teach kids a really good understanding of computer coding and visuality. The Prime Minister yesterday said to children in a secondary school, girls in a secondary school, it would be wonderful one day if you studied science you could be able to design a high-performance car. And I think that shows all of us that he didn't quite understand that designing a high-performance car involves a marriage of art and science.
Okay.
So I'm with Paul Deach, who's the Conservative council. You are a councillor
at the moment. At least until the 11th of May, yeah.
and Paul, the fascinating thing I think about you is your commitment to getting these hustings out there, you know, to filming them and then broadcasting them and then trying to get people engaged in the conversations within the hustings. Now, why is that such an important thing to you to do that?
Well, because first of all, I can do it. I have the capability to do it, so I should do it. The thing is that in my real life, I am a social media consultant,
right.
And I do this stuff, you know, for my living.
Yeah.
And so I have that capability. I have the equipment,
yeah,
and the know-how. So I think that it's only right to put that to good use. And I suppose you could call it corporate social responsibility.
Yeah. And do you think it has an impact in some way?
It's had a massive impact. So for instance, so for instance, that the last hustings that you took part in, I live streamed that over the internet, and actually we had a record number of people watching.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing these live broadcasts for a long time now. But we had a record number of people watching that broadcast. Over 400 people were watching it.
Really?
And almost double that have watched the recording afterwards.
That's amazing.
So to say people are not interested in local politics or politics in general is not true. They are interested in it. You've just got to give it to them in a media format that's easy to consume.
Ran a campaign against Michael Gove. I thought Ed Miliband might win the election. I thought Michael Gove would win the constituency I stood in, but then he would lose his job. And we would have a big party. We really are in Michael's home territory here. I mean, I've just walked up this street, which is the street leads up to the avenue in Camberley where my battle bus is, and I must say it's absolutely covered in Gove literature. So I just want to show you the context in which I'm. You know, we've got the battle bus here, and the Vote Independent sign up there, and the Vote for Bob for more art. But if we look across the road, we've got the local Conservative sign there, and then Michael Gove sign there. In fact, it's Gove signs all the way. It's Gove signs all the way down the street. So it's it makes me think that my supporter here, Melanie, you know, she's very brave actually, standing up for the arts in this way. So I'm just painting the battle bus now, and we're in Camberley in the front garden. And what I'm doing is I'm painting painting lozenges of colour. It's sort of a nice, completely mad. It's called Tinseltown, this colour. It reminds me a bit of a paint that I used for a long time, which I found, which was called Foxy Lady, which is bright orange. But yeah, Tinseltown I think would be quite good. And then I'm going to paint a sort of acid green, which I think will look quite poppy. And then I'll paint slogans. And the slogans on the van are all going to be, there are going to be a few of my slogans, but they're mostly reasons why people in Camberley, in all the hustings that I've spoken to, that I've been to, the people that I've spoken to who've said that they are passionate about art. So I'm going to be painting some of their slogans on the bus. So I met a nice man who said he liked Joe Tilson's. I'll be painting that yesterday. And also another chap the other day who said he loved looking at pictures, although he didn't paint pictures, but he loved looking at Goya. So I'll be painting those onto the van later on. I think that's the quickest paint job I've ever done. It says vote for Bob for more art. Art makes people powerful on the door. I like Goya. That was somebody in Frimley when we did the hustings told me how much they like Goya. And then art gives a voice to the voiceless. I like Frida Kahlo. And finally, all schools should be art schools. Oh, I didn't find it. And at the top there, be inspired, vote Bob for art in our schools. So we're going to go out on the road now with the van and see if we can get a few votes. Vote Bob.
Vote Bob for more art. Be inspired. Be inspired. Vote Bob for more art.
I believe that we both become pro PR.
We have, yeah, it's quite strange.
Well, it would be the way for you to get a seat.
It's like Camberley is like Zimbabwe. I mean, I like it a lot, but it's a one-party state. I mean, Michael Gove is Mugabe. Okay, we're going to look for the vote art thing. Here it is. Well, where is it?
It's got to be down here. Near roundabout.
Life on 4G. Find your beach. You see, the thing about this bridge, it doesn't look like the photograph very much. So I was thinking, oh, maybe it is somewhere else.
But I was wondering, it might have been there.
Yeah, it might have been there looking back, mightn't it?
I think that...
Let's have a look underneath. Hold on, where's the vote art poster? If you came past here the other day, you would have thought, well, let's go and vote. Well, we have found the vote art poster after many deliberations, and it's only Wednesday, isn't it? No, it's Tuesday, isn't it, before the election?
Yeah.
And it's already been replaced with a Find Your Beach.
That's what it did look like.
Oh yeah.
See, so yeah, that was it.
That was it. And I can show you that little bit of green.
That's all that's left.
Vote! Go out and vote! Art and democracy. Art and democracy. Vote art. I'm sure we could see it again.
Bob, don't do that. I mean, do you remember the criminal damage court cases and everything? So, you know. We just simply can't go up against the likes of Corona with this.
I just want to see my name.
Believe me, Bob, it's there. It is there somewhere. Leave it alone.
But nobody will see it now.
Bob, leave it alone.
Yes, it is. What is your human right? Yes, it is now. You have the right to sing. You have the right to dance. You have the right to write. You have the right to draw. Art is yours.
This is the last day of campaigning, such as it is, for the election tomorrow. And but we really must take the arts more seriously in schools. It's terrible to just think, you know, it's only for a certain section of society that understand the arts. We need to tell people about the arts. And we really must do it economically because it's very important. There's a bit in the film where it becomes apparent that I'm going to lose my deposit in my campaign against Michael Gove. That's £500. And now, to get in the right mood for this, you need to think that £500 is not going to charity. It's not going to do any good at all. That £500 deposit goes to the Cabinet Office. Is that making you feeling sad?
Really sad.
Okay, so let's have a... let's start with a sad refrain. Colin, how sad can you be on that instrument that you've got in front of you?
Your phones are falling off. Here we go.
So this ward, where our headquarters is, had once returned some Labour councillors, or had a Labour council. The Tories are really making a concerted effort here to really get rid of or make certain that every council member is Conservative. And this is the street. This is the street leading up to my quarters. Virtually every front garden has Tory party posters. So we'll see how I get on.
It's 8 o'clock on Thursday, the 7th of May. The headlines this morning. The polls are open in the general election. 50 million people are eligible to vote. People who lost valuables in the Hatton Garden jewellery raid are meeting to consider how to get compensation. A last-minute deal has been reached to form a new coalition government in Israel. And the Japanese zoo, which is regretting calling a baby monkey Charlotte. The BBC News is read by Caroline Nichols. After weeks of intense campaigning by the political parties at Westminster, around 50 million people are being given the chance to have their say in the general election. Polling stations across the United Kingdom opened at 7 o'clock this morning, and votes are being cast to elect 650 MPs. Thousands of council seats in England are also being contested, and there are 6 elections for mayors. More details from our political correspondent, Sean Curran.
Some people have already put a cross next to the name of their favoured candidate. 5 years ago, 7 million people, 15% of the electorate, had a postal vote. But most people will vote in person at one of the around 50,000 polling stations that have been set up in primary schools, parish halls and even 1 or 2 pubs. As well as the general election, there are more than 9,000 council seats being contested across 279 English local authorities. And there are elections for mayors in Bedford, Leicester Mansfield, Middlesbrough, Torbay and Copeland in Cumbria, which means that nearly every voter in England outside London will be given at least 2 ballot papers when they go to the polling station.
And now, much more than this, I did it my way. Anyway, I'm going off to the polling station now. I've got my polling card. And I was going to vote in Ramsgate. And I did register to vote in Ramsgate against Farage, because I really want to try and stop UKIP. And anyway, but best laid plans go awry. I did register in Ramsgate, but not in time. So I'm leaving my house in Leytonstone now to go and vote in the election. And if there were local councillors standing, I would probably vote Green, because after my experience in Camberley, I realised that in a safe seat, you know, for democracy to work, different kinds of voices need to be heard, really. But I am, well, let's see, I haven't fully made up my mind who I'm going to vote for yet, actually. It's a bit mad. But anyway, I'm heading off to the polling station now. One of the mild disappointments this morning was that Brian May, the Queen guitarist, of who I am a huge fan, and one of his biggest fans will be coming tonight, Ian Hemgrau, who's my housing minister. He's a huge Brian May fan. He went for the Green Party. I think he was always going to go for the Green Party, obviously, because they more typically represent you know, ideas about wildlife. And I must say, in that area, I hope the Greens do really well, and I hope the Green councillors do really well. I also hope the Labour councillors keep their spaces on the council. I ideally hope the UKIP candidate doesn't do very well. But anyway, so we're heading off to the polls at my local primary school in Leytonstone, and then dashing to meet Matthew and at the station, and then going down to Camberley to do a bit of last minute polemicising. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. Spring, changes in the air. Will we get a change of government? God, I bloody hope so. I really hope that people vote for change. I really hope they do. We're at the polling station now. Hello.
Hello.
I'm just leaving the polling station now. I voted for John Cryer. Not Labour Party, I suppose, but he is a good Labour MP. He's a decent left-wing guy, and so I'll give him my vote. I really want Ed Miliband to win the election. So there you go. That's who I voted for. So our last trip's down to Camberley today, on election day, and you took exception to Brian May, haven't you? Brian May has come out for Kimberley.
Yeah, Greens.
Well, he would do, wouldn't he? Of course he would. He's a Green. He's not in his own constituency. He's not going to go and vote for Bob.
Sorry, Bob. That's all wrong. But basically, what he said is this: politics is blind. Blind, colourblind is what he said. Politics is colourblind, and I'm going to just go for the decent candidate. Hence the phrase common decency.
Does that mean that I'm an indecent candidate?
Well, that's obviously the impression he's given. I mean, we know that is.
I think that's fair enough, actually. Yeah, so you're fed up.
I've been in contact with them, constantly about not just our Vote Art campaign and your campaign, and I thought that generally speaking, our campaign.
Well, I know I did that painting with the stereoscopic badger. Do you think he saw through that? I mean, it's a genuine.
Listen, we didn't just crowbar badgers into our campaign. The arts.
The whole independent, the whole independent thing is black and white, isn't it?
Exactly. The arts and badgers were 2 key points of our manifesto.
I think what we need to do is go round, because he's in Winnersh, Wisley.
Yeah.
What is it called? Cobham, Chobham. Somewhere in Camberley. We ought to go around there, vote Bob for badgers, the real badger candidate. Yeah.
We should literally be badgering people.
Do you think it was that fur hat that I wore in the early publicity material? Well, it was nylon.
Admittedly, wearing a real fur hat was not.
It wasn't real, it was nylon. It was a nylon fur hat.
Made of badgers.
That wasn't a good idea.
Badger hat.
It did look like a badger, actually.
That wasn't obviously as much. But at that time we didn't know what he was coming out for. We didn't realise that.
No.
The point is,
and I've not worn it since.
The point is, he's a musician and he's into nature.
I've given it away.
We're the arts party, and we're into nature as well.
Yeah.
Right in to the Brian May
vibe.
Oh, exactly.
I think I still like A Night at the Opera. Actually, the album.
Well,
I had that when I was a kid.
Have you seen the Common Decency One Voice song?
No, is there a Common Decency one song?
There's a Common Decency song.
Well, I could have done the album cover for that. I could have done the cover art.
Exactly, Brian. This is what you've missed out on, because we're all here working together. Later on, we might give you a rendition, our own rendition of the One Voice song.
Only when the wind blows. That was actually Frank Sidebottom.
Now okay. you can.
So look, Matt, it's vote Bob.
Yeah.
For more art in our schools. Okay.
Do you want it to be like that, or do you want to rearrange the words?
All schools should be art schools.
You got that, Matt?
Now, can you try that? Let's just hear it once, a rehearsal, okay? And not in a silly 1950s Ealing comedy. Vote for Bob! Okay, let's try it once, shall we? Let's just go in your own voice, nice and relaxed.
In my own voice.
Yeah, but
nice and relaxed.
With a little bit of empathy.
With a little bit of emphasis. Go on.
I'm now laughing.
I'm going to do it any minute. I'm getting into character.
Just be yourself, man. Look, I'll do it.
No. I have the microphone. It's mine.
Oh my God.
Vote Bob.
Okay.
Vote Bob for more art in our schools. All schools should be art schools.
That's good.
All schools should be art schools. Vote for Bob.
Let's go a little bit high.
Vote for Bob.
Do it in your Michael Caine.
I just told you to vote for Bob.
No, you don't leave off the just told you.
I can't do Michael Caine without that starting point.
Just do this, look.
Oh, I can do that.
Sorry, how does it go, Bob?
No, I can do that. That's really good.
No,
I know I can do this.
No, you just go, vote Bob for more art in our schools, in all our schools. Vote Bob. All schools should be art schools.
You've got quite a high pitch at the point there.
There you go. You can try that. Go on, try that. See if you can do that.
Vote for Bob. Vote Bob for more art in our schools. All schools should be art schools.
Right, that's better. Let's go.
Vote for Bob for more art in our schools. Vote for Bob.
Art is a human right. You have the right to sing. You have the right to dance.
Vote Bob Smith for more art in our schools. Vote for Bob Smith.
To draw.
Schools should be art schools. Vote Bob Smith. Independent. Vote Bob Smith, your independent candidate.
And you have the right to listen to the radio.
All schools should be art schools.
schools. Vote for Bob Smith.
You have the right
All schools should be art
to
schools. Vote for Bob Smith.
You have the right to make things. You have the right to make a boat. You have the right to dance. Because you have the right.
All schools should be art schools. Vote for Bob Smith. Vote Bob Smith.
You sound like bloody Boris Johnson. I mean, can't you just make it a little bit less middle class, for Christ's sake?
How dare you? I just told you to vote for Bob Smith.
Is that better, Bob? Is that better?
People of Bagshot, vote Bob Smith. Vote Bob Smith. Vote Bob Smith, independent. All schools should be art schools.
Hold on.
Independent.
Stop it. You're saying all schools should be independent.
No, you're mishearing me. I'm saying all schools should be art schools. Independent candidate Bob Smith.
All schools should be art schools. Independent candidate Bob Smith.
Just keep the independent bit a bit further away from the school.
Okay, you need a special message here because this is where Sophie and Edward live.
Sophie and Edward, if you could vote, I know you'd vote for Bob.
Bob's a Royal Academician.
Vote Bob Smith, Royal Academician. Has your mum's approval.
You can do the Boris Johnson bit here, okay? Try and be more posh now.
Vote for Bob Smith. Bob Smith. What other alternative is there?
How about that? I like that, yeah.
Very nice.
Vote Bob. Bob Smith. Bob Smith, Royal Academician. Standing here in Surrey Heath. He has your mother's seal of approval. Vote for Bob. Bob Smith, independent candidate. Vote for Bob. Counting on your vote here in Wildlesham. Schools. Vote for Bob. Vote for Bob.
How do you think it's been going then, guys?
Oh, I think we're getting votes without even trying.
We came across the Labour lot, didn't we?
Yep, we've spoken to the Labour lot there.
Because the Labour lot are lovely, aren't they? And the Greens are lovely, you know, they're quite... But Tories, they get to get really angry, don't they? You can sort of see them bristling.
Yeah.
And but Labour people are like, in that Labour war, they're all laughing and kind of, you know, thinking, oh, that's funny, you know. But the Tories are like...
a bit simplistic in our analysis.
That is the dispiriting thing. I'm thinking that it's like Zimbabwe or like a one-party state, and actually they've got a complete stranglehold on power, and they want complete power, don't they?
Yeah.
They don't want a single parish councillor or borough councillor.
What we have to admit, though, as tribal people,
and they're trying to get your sister to take down her independence sign, aren't they?
She's had to. They engineered enough complaints to the returning officer.
I mean, it's ironic, isn't it? We want to take down the sign that says that anybody is independent. That is why we need PR, isn't it? That's become the odd strange thing about this campaign. It's changed. Well, it is obviously all about art and education, but actually it's about democracy and how. Do we really believe in it in Britain?
We went into the Premier. We checked into the Premier Inn, and you know, they said, "What's your name?" He didn't actually say, "What's your name?" He said, "Are you Bob?"
Yeah.
And he said, "I'm Bob-tomistic." He did. I said, "I'm Bob-tomistic." And we've met a few people who, you know, unsolicited, have said they're going to vote for you, Bob. You might actually get your 27 votes.
I'm excited.
Have you practiced your speech for this evening?
People of Surrey Heath, I accept your challenge to vote for me to be your MP. I'd just like to say how wonderful it is to come to Cobham. Chobham. People of Surrey Heath, the time has come, the man has come, the hour has come. And we will change art education. As Keith Waterhouse would say, people of Surrey Heath, we will build towers! Towers!
Art is a human right. Art is a human right. You have the right to sing. have the right to dance. You have the right to draw. You have the right to paint. You have the right to laugh.
So what are we doing now, Matt? On the train again.
Yeah, we are on the train again. This is going to be our life. We've spent today, obviously, canvassing.
We have.
In a
Do you think it was successful?
Well, we got some smiles.
We did. We got some votes, I think.
I think we might have even got some votes. Because we didn't obviously know where the polling stations were, which is an issue, and you can't campaign outside a polling station. But it appeared every time I said things like "Vote Bob Smith," for instance, suddenly a polling station would appear. As if someone was running in front of the van, because you could run in front of the van. It was that slow.
And we had to stay away. We had to stay away from Chobham, didn't we? Because the Conservatives had complained about the independent banner there, which they asked to be taken down. But where are we going now?
But now we're heading back into London to do an event at the V&A.
We are.
It's a piece of, and neither of us, particularly me, are exactly sure what it is we're doing and where we're meant to be going.
Be okay, Matt. We can busk it. I'll be brilliant.
Well, naturally, there's no denying.
So it's election day.
Yeah.
We should really probably be in Camberley.
Yeah.
Matt, a thought occurs to me. Where are we going to eat?
Yeah, this is an interesting point. So, I mean, the whole event.
Have you got an idea?
The whole event starts at 7:30, which is now. You're going to be on in 10 minutes, which ain't going to happen. So you're going to probably be on about 7:45. Finish by 8. We've got to get back to Waterloo 8:30, and then we've got to meet Jessie at 9. So this gives us half an hour to eat somewhere. I tell you what, if you get off and walk over Hungerford Bridge, there's a Wagamama's.
Oh, that's nice food.
Yeah, we'll have a Wagamama's, hopefully. Then we've got to get a train at about
Looks like this might be happening.
9.
It might be happening. Young people discussing politics. Don't know.
Welcome to election day, or whatever you call it. Welcome to the V&A. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Can you hear me okay? Is it too loud? The kind of optimum volume. Anyway, it's great you could all be here in this kind of weird hiatus between the excitement of the democratic moment and actually anything happening and us knowing anything about the future of our country. But
tonight, if you tune in about 4 o'clock in the morning, you'll see Michael Gove win, so is he.
No.
And I'll be lurking in the background. Just the BBC camera fades off of here. I'll be walking up there when we recorded me. But I'm going to do this for you now, so you don't have to stay up till 4 o'clock. I'm standing in Surrey Heath to try and make art an election issue. One of the things about art is that it is good for health. And the other thing, this is an interesting thing, I don't think anybody has really said this in the election, that immigration is a good thing for British culture.
Hey!
Come on, let's hear it loud. Let's say it loud and proud. I want to hear you, V&A.
Hey!
You've got to repeat after me. Immigration is a good thing for British culture.
Immigration is good.
No, you can't just go, yeah. You've got to go, immigration is a good thing for British culture. That's when I go, yeah! Museums should be like newspapers. And this is a slight dig at museums. Audiences should look like taxpayers. When you pay your tax to the HMRC, they don't say, oh, I don't want your money, you're black, or you're Asian. But actually we don't run that idea when we curate exhibitions and when we think about audiences. Look around. And we need to do that. We need to do that. And that's why I'm asking the largely Conservative constituency of Surrey Heath 2. Let's hear it loud and proud.
Vote Bob!
Yeah, a bit more enthusiasm. Come on. We won't use that bit in the film, Matthew. So we're just leaving the V&A now, aren't we?
Yep.
And how do you think that went? What do you think that event was going to be like?
It was a weird one for me because I generally thought that there might be the director of the V&A or one of their patrons or something like that to talk to you and ask you questions. So I mean, it gave you a chance to display your work. But I don't know, Bob, what do you feel?
I thought it went quite well, It's interesting though. I looked round there and I was thinking, that thing about audiences, taxpayers.
Yeah.
And that is a real. You realise that, if you're involved in the arts, that is a real failing of this liberal establishment that we're all in favour of. It doesn't. It's attractive to very few people. It's a narrow band, and. Obviously, I'm part of the narrow band. I'm the narrowest part of the band. We both are. And I think that's wrong. But I don't think overall, if you looked at the V&A, I suspect it's also who's interested in politics, who's free, who's in the area this time of the evening. It's all those things as well, isn't it? But that was interesting. But they got it. They were into it. No. Shouting, they're all optimistic.
No, it was all good, and we're now on our way down to Surrey Heath.
Camberley. We're going to 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 Camberley. There's plenty to do and plenty to see. We're going to Camberley. We're going to Camberley.
Number 263. Lib Dems 31, SNP 48, UKIP 2, Plaid 2, Greens 1.
Lib Dems 31?
Yeah.
What kind of... I can't believe that. I'm just... The Lib Dems 31?
Well, it's still a Tory victory, though, isn't it?
No, they'd be the largest party, but what do you need? What do you need to govern? 325, yeah.
Yeah.
So what does YouGov say?
YouGov, okay. YouGov have come up with a different exit poll. They've said Conservatives 284, Labour 263, Lib Dems 31, SNP 48, UKIP 2, Plaid 3.
Say that again. Conservatives 284. And what do you need to rule?
325.
What did she show you online? Yeah.
Oh wow, it's very depressing. It was very depressing getting off the train, wasn't it, when we heard the first exit poll? No, it's only mildly less depressing. What we've got to get ready for tonight is a lot of crowing, a lot of one-upmanship.
This is very brave for you to do. Which was encouraging.
So Mel, who did you vote for?
I voted for some guy.
Bob Smith.
Yeah, I did. I voted for Bob Smith.
Even after you, after all the cynicism,
even after I've been a minion, abused.
I couldn't have done it without you, Melanie. Couldn't have done it without you, Kaz.
Sorry, I didn't realise you were filming.
Or indeed, Matt. Well, I'm here. You're here. How do you think it's going so far? How's it for you? The fish, all the fish in the barrel have been shot.
So Vince Cable, the Business Secretary, key part of the coalition government, defeated in Twickenham.
provisional results. Sorry, candidates and agents to the right-hand side of the stage, please. Provisional results.
Election of the Member of Parliament for the Surrey Heath constituency. The result of the poll. I, Karen Alexandra Whelan, being the acting returning officer at the above election, do hereby give notice that the number of votes recorded for each candidate at the said election is as follows. Lewin Atoshi, Labour Party, 6,100 votes. Anne Marie Barker, Liberal Democrats, 4,937. Juliana Brimacombe, Christian Party, proclaiming Christ's Lordship, 361. Paul John Chapman, UK Independence Party, UKIP, 7,778. Michael Andrew Gove, the Conservative Party candidate, 32,500. I will indeed. Michael Andrew Gove, the Conservative Party candidate, 32,582. Kimberly Jane Lawson, Green Party, 2,400. Yay! Bob Smith, Independent, 273. Hey. Woo! A one-to official mark 0, voting for more candidates than voter was entitled to 72, writing or mark by which the voter could be identified 5, being unmarked or wholly void of uncertainty 175. It's a total of 252. The ballot papers received were 54,683 and a turnout of 68.7%. And so I hereby declare that Michael Andrew Gove is duly elected as the MP for the Surrey Heath constituency.
Can I first of all thank the acting returning officer, Karen Whelan, and her fantastic team for the enormous amount of hard work that they put in during the course of this evening. And I know that the work doesn't end here. I know that there are also counts for our borough and parish council elections as well. To all those who work in local government, we owe a heartfelt debt of thanks to Karen, to the team here. I'm particularly grateful for their dedication and hard work. I'm also grateful to those who are standing in other elections, to the borough and parish candidates. In order to keep our democratic system healthy, we need people who are prepared to put their name on the ballot paper, talk to their neighbours, and serve unselfishly those who put them into public office. We're lucky in Surrey Heath to have so many people who put themselves forward for election to the borough and parish councils. I wish all those candidates good luck and thank them for their commitment to the democratic process. I'd also like to thank the other parliamentary candidates who stood for each of the parties, and in Bob and Roberta's case, as a spirited independent. I've enjoyed the campaign that we've had here. I felt that every single one of the candidates has added a distinction to the campaign. I know that they are all people who have the best interests of this community at heart. It takes courage to put your name on a ballot paper and to ask people to vote for you. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, we should congratulate all of them on the courage that they've shown in this ballot.
Come on, Bob.
Bob!
Thank you. I stood in this constituency on a single issue. I stood against Michael because I was worried, and I am still concerned, that we are diminishing art in schools. Art, fundamentally, is about all of our freedom of expression. It's about freedom of speech. If you get a kid in a class, you get a classroom, you get them to make a life drawing, you get them to make a still life, you'll get as many different responses to that still life as there are children in the class. That teaches us that people have different points of view, we have different perspectives on things, and we have to negotiate the future together. And we share more than what divides us. So please, ladies and gentlemen, do support me in thinking we have to rethink the arts and support art in education. Thank you.
Amnesty are tweeting here, Bob. They're saying if Tory majority Human Rights Act is dead.
Really?
So all the you know, everyone's just like.
What will happen to the Human Rights Act?
It'll be dropped, Bob.
That's just terrible.
This evening has been a victory for fear over hope. This is what's happened. We've had to suffer whole night in the heart of some horrendous beast that has chewed us up and spat us out. And now, to 24 hours of no sleep, I've had breakfast and I just really want to cry.
You know, at the end of it all, probably the last, the lowest moment for me was realising that I'd actually have to shake my hand. As my last gesture in the whole process would be me shaking Michael's hand. A man who, the question is,
he likes you, Bob. He likes you. You've got an in there. We've got a what's it called? A thingy into the heart of government.
But you won because you got 273 votes, which was 273 people in this constituency telling them what they did was wrong and that they have to listen to
And I
you.
tell you, Patrick, it wasn't just us cheering in that group. I mean,
that was,
when you play back the video of the cheer, I mean, it was like, yeah, massive cheer.
Maybe it was all the tellers in the horse. I've got some votes here, I can't let him lose. Oh dear.
Conservatives pledged to scrap the Human Rights Act and replace it with a British Bill of Rights. The aim to give the UK courts and Parliament, rather than European institutions, the final say in contentious cases. And in what's been called a huge vote of confidence, Nicky Morgan has been reappointed as Education Secretary. David Cameron had already announced that George Osborne would stay on as Chancellor, Theresa May would remain as Home Secretary, and Philip Hammond and Michael Fallon would retain their jobs at the Foreign Office and Ministry of Defence. But with a slim majority of 12,
oh my God, Gove's going to be the Justice Secretary and he's going to get rid of the Human Rights Act.
keep the party disciplined.
That's,
David Cameron will be
that's
hoping
Orwellian.
that having won a Conservative majority for the first time in more...
We're going to vote for the arts in Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. There's plenty to do. Plenty to see. We're gonna vote for the arts in Camberley. In Camberley. Things have got so bad that nobody fights for the arts. They don't want to fight for humanity. They just talk about the creative economy in Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. In Camberley. Art is your human right. Art is your human right. Let's hear it, Rebecca. Yes, it is. Art is your human right. Yes, it is now. You have the right to sing. You have the right to dance.